Hey guys, welcome back to the Wild Wrestling Channel. I am your host, Seth. Today we're back at it for the top 10 for ranking the top 10 pay-per-views of each year. And this year is 2023, so let's hop right into the video. Play the intro. Just to know, I am including NXT in this list, but first off, we are going to have a tie at number 10, and number 10 is going to be Fastlane and Night of Champions with a tie. These are two really good shows. They have a lot of ups and downs, but there's a couple things that make them really stand out, but I'm going to tie them here. If we look at Night of Champions, the show's okay, but it still is very good. There's some matches that are more okay, what I was trying to say, but a lot of it is still very good. It has the debut of the World Heavyweight title, which Seth Rollins wins, and we see Jimmy Uso leave the Bloodline in the main event, which is very interesting. But then when we look at a show like Fastlane, it has Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes winning the tag titles and the debut of Yeet in the press conference. And if we look at the main event, that incredible last man standing match between Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura. All in all, both shows are really good, and that's why I'm tying them here at number 10. Number 9, we got Money in the Bank. To be honest, the show is really good. It's a very good show, but I think some of the shows on this list might just have a couple better matches. If we look at some of the matches, the men's and women's, in my opinion, are very good Money in the Bank ladder matches. The Bloodline Civil War is awesome to see Roman Reigns getting pinned after all these years. But a lot of the other stuff on the card isn't bad. It's just when you compare it to some of this other stuff. Like, they were trying to get Cody Rhodes on the card, so they had him go against Dom. And Finn Balor and Seth Rollins, this was not really their match here. I know people still think it's good. That's what I'm saying. Not many, and nothing on this show is really bad. I just think there's better stuff on certain other shows. It does have the heel turn of Shayna Baszler on Ronda Rousey, but to be honest, I think this is a good show, but I think it deserves number 9. And number 8, we got Payback. Payback is just better than Money in the Bank for a couple reasons. I just think because of two matches, the steel cage match between Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus, and the Steel City Street fight between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in the Judgment Day. I think both of those matches are so good, and that's why I just think it's a little better than Money in the Bank. It is very back and forth. I mean, people could say that some of the matches at Money in the Bank are still, like, if you compare the entire card, it's better because of some other things. But to be honest here, I just think, really, to me, they really are flip-flops. I don't know why. It's just in my brain. I just think this card is it's hard to, in my opinion, because when you look at Money in the Bank, when you give them the ladder match, they can make great out of it, but I feel like the stipulations here, they made a great show out of not really having anything. But to be honest, I think all the matches on this card are very good. And I know it can be kind of debatable. I just think Money in the Bank is kind of a little thrown together, like what I was talking about, like Cody and Dom, and like you look at the IC title, it was like Gunther and Riddle. I guess a lot was kind of more like thrown together than I feel like here we got the end of like proper storylines. But you can really flip-flop them either way. I'm not really going to hold against it. You can get mad at me here. I might even think that Money in the Bank might be better. These are two very different ways. In another timeline, maybe I put Money in the Bank in front of Payback. But here, I'm going to have Money in the Bank right just behind Payback. At number 7, we got Royal Rumble. Now, this show really probably shouldn't be in front of those two shows. But it does have, I mean, the Royal Rumble match is obviously such a fun match. There were a lot of cool returns and debuts possibly in this match. Gunther had such a good time in that Rumble with the 111 being in there for so long, and Cody Rhodes winning is something we all wanted. There's not really a bad match on this card, in my opinion. The only bad match might be the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. But when you kind of go away from it, it's more just that Bray Wyatt passed away, and it's like the last match we ever got of him. So to me, being in a couple years after that, it's the last match we ever get of him. So I kind of want to remember it that way. And to me, the point that really stands out is the main event where Sami Zayn finally turns on Roman. And though you can say, oh my God, Jimmy turned on Roman at Night of Champions. Oh my God, Jay and them beat them at Money in the Bank. Oh, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not cool. In my opinion, it's just this was the way that started all of them turning on each other. This was the start of the break up of the bloodline. And I feel like without the Sami Zayn turn, we don't get those moments. That's why I'm going to put it here. And I think the Royal Rumble matches, I mean, it's hard to beat the Royal Rumble match. I think these were two really good executed. The winners were great. And like I said, I just think both were really executed very well. So I guess I'm being honest, I think they're a little bit better than both. But like 7, 8, 9 can all be flip-flopped. Number 6, we got NXT Stand and Deliver. I told you at the beginning NXT would be on this list, and this was, in my opinion, such a good show. There wasn't too many big surprises or anything too big. I just think every match was executed perfectly, in my opinion. Carmelo Hayes finally winning in the main event, winning the NXT Championship, was a moment we all wanted to see. The throne Braun Breaker after Braun Breaker held the title for practically a year. We also saw that incredible 5-way open challenge for the NXT North American title between Wesley, Dragon Lee, Ilya Dragunov, JD McDonough, and Axiom, which was awesome. The 6-way women's ladder match for the NXT Championship was really good. And really everything on this card, like Johnny Gargano and Grace Martin unsanctioned match, the Creeds, the Family, and who was the other team? The Gallus and the 3-way for the NXT tag team titles, and even like Fallon Henley and Kiana James versus the Unholy Union for the NXT women's tag titles. I just think everything was executed to the best it could be, and that is why I'm putting it here at number 6. At number 5, you got Survivor Series. Now, Survivor Series is kind of an interesting show because not too much in it stands out. I mean, the women's War Games and the men's War Games are the main things in the show. The women's War Games is very good. It's just like the action and everything's very good. And the men's tells a very good story and has the return of Randy Orton, obviously. But the reason it always ranks so high up for everyone is because it was at the end it had the return of CM Punk. CM Punk, a guy at the time who we never thought would enter WWE again. And when he finally returned, it was that big of a moment for people. No one ever thought he was going to be in WWE again. And when wrestling is about, when wrestling, as Booker T says, wrestling is what happens in between the moves. And the CM Punk return made everyone lose their mind. Like, you can go on Instagram and, like, every single time you look at someone's reaction to it, everyone just loses their mind. No one actually thought he was going to return. No one could believe it. And that's why I feel like you could say that the show was, everything could have gone horribly wrong. This would have still placed in this list, in my opinion, just because of that return. And number 4, we got Backlash. This is such a hard show to put here because it's so good. But when we get into the certain section of the list, there's going to be a lot of shows that are so good that sometimes you got to just put them in some spots. This show has so many incredible matches, like the San Juan Street fight between Bad Bunny and Damian Priest, arguably match of the year. Plus, Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar isn't a bad match there. It's possibly the best match they had in their series. Bianca Belair and Io Sky was such an awesome match, and like a lot of people say, this is where Io Sky really first shined in her single star and kind of went out from under the wing of Bayley when they were in Damage Control. And all together, the show, like, even though there's still a lot of matches, like, they're thrown around, like literally they made a match between Seth Rollins and Omos with no storyline. They literally just took Seth Rollins and Omos and just threw them into a match. Like, no storyline, no nothing. They had to make the storyline from there, but still, it ended up being a good match because it was Seth Rollins, and, like, they still just had a good match. Selena Vega and Rhea Ripley, like, that pop that Selena Vega gets being important. Like, every match on here was still good. Even though a lot of it was just thrown together, I don't think anything was still bad on the show. I just think some of these shows that we're going to get into the top 3, they really, really are good. So that's why I'm going to leave this here at number 4. At number 3, we got NXT No Mercy. This is such a good show. It's probably one of the best NXT shows we've seen in a long time, in my opinion. It just has so many good matches. Like, if you were looking at NXT Match of the Year, you were looking at this show for the matches. You practically didn't even need to go to another show to look. You were looking at this show to find the Match of the Year. I mean, Ilya Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes, such a good match. Probably the best match they've had in their couple matches that they had in 2023. The Extreme Rules main event between Tiffany Stratton and Becky Lynch for the NXT Women's title was so awesome. Such a good fight. Really, everything on the show, like Baron Corbin versus Braun Breaker, was just a fight all throughout the arena. The Fatal 4-Way Tag match was very chaotic and crazy. Just like Trick Williams finally winning the North American title from Dom, getting that big pop that he needed. Just everything on the show was just so good. I guess it's hard to find a bad match on the show. Every match was just so good, in my opinion. It's definitely the best NXT show of the year. Best in probably a couple years, probably. And that's why it's number 3 for me. At number 2, we got Elimination Chamber in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. This show, just like NXT No Mercy, I don't think there's a bad match on it. It is so good. If we just look at the main event, Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn, that is arguably also one of the best matches of the year. It's just the pop Sami Zayn gets in Montreal, but also just him not stopping, just wants to win that first world title. Just he keeps fighting just to beat Roman. That match is so good for everything he's doing, just trying to topple Roman and end this reign. And I think for so many people thought this could actually end at Elimination Chamber. Like, it was that into the story. Like, at that point, you knew if it was going to end or if it wasn't. At this point, people actually thought it would end at Elimination Chamber just because of Montreal and how over Sammy was at the time. And if we look at the U.S. title Elimination Chamber match, that's awesome. Montez Ford does some crazy stuff, and all the men in there throw everything out of their pockets just to get the job done. We also see many. My fault. We also see the women's chamber match, and that's also very good. It has many good spots. It's Asuka one. Rhea Ripley and Finn Balor versus Beth Phoenix and Edge, and a mixed tag match is also very good. The only downside of the show is Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley, but we don't really need to talk about that. But everything on the show, in my opinion, I think is so good. Even if you take out that Brock and Bobby match, when you just look at those 4 couple matches, in my opinion, they're really good matches, and I just love them so much. That's why I have them here. And number 1, WrestleMania 39 Night 1. Like in the last video, I'm going to split up the nights, and Night 1, in my opinion, is the best show of the whole year. The main event, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos for the tag titles, tells such a great story, and it's such a good match where Sami and Kevin finally get it done and finally win those tag titles in the main event of WrestleMania. The 4-way tag team showcase match, honestly, people would think, like myself, people thought it was going to be kind of boring, but they ended up making it so good. They made it so good and awesome. I mean, there's Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, arguably one of the best matches of the weekend, possibly even the best match of the year. There's just so much on this show that's so good. And Night 1 isn't even Logan Paul and Seth Rollins, that's still a good match. You look at these matches that you don't think are going to be good, and they somehow are able to deliver. And just there's so much in here that makes the show so good. It's way better than Night 2. So many matches in this show are so good, and that is why it's number 1 on here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below if you enjoyed this video, and turn on that bell to get notified whenever I upload a brand new video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.